Recording in progress.
Mo ti ready. Mo ti ready. Mo ti ready. All right, I know I said 9:15, but I decided to start 1 minute earlier because my body is doing me giz, giz, giz. Thank you so much. Good morning, daddies, mommies, my brothers, my sisters, uncles, aunties, and everyone that has joined in. I'm going to need Akin to please, and everyone else to please mute their mic for now so that not be getting feedback. Please mute your mic. Thank you so much. There's still one more person that is unmuted. Okay. Mommy, you are the one. No. Mommy. So, all right. So thank you so much for joining in. My name is Peace Oni, and I have the privilege of coming from the womb of the woman who has convened all of us, who has gathered all of us this morning. I have the privilege of living with her, being raised by her. And if you know me or you know anything that I have done or anything that I am doing, you know that she's practically the fire beneath beneath my sails, right? And it is a privilege to be able to work with her in this capacity, to be able to watch her actually do this one thing that she has been wanting to do for a long time. Which brings us to the reason for this particular, for the initiative as a whole and for this particular webinar. So the Retire to Refire initiative was born out of her desire, and by her, I mean Dr. Mrs. Foluke Oni, by her desire to see as many older people as possible actually find fulfillment in life. Because we've seen many situations and many occasions where, for a lot of reasons, right, our parents have left their personal ambitions, their personal desires, their personal goals, just in order to do whatever it takes to be able to raise a family, to be able to raise children. And, you know, we're also living in a country, for those of us that are in Nigeria, that everything, you are practically fighting for your life every day. There's one thing or the other that is, you know, against you achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. So we are in fight mode most of the time. So it is understandable that many people just do what it is that they can with what they have where they are. And so we found many situations where people, you know, are not able to achieve many things. And, you know, you have to go to work, you get a 9 to 5, you do whatever it is that it takes just so that you can survive, so that your family can survive. And then you do that for many years, 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, and then you retire. And you find that you don't even remember who you are or what it is that you were interested in. You've just been living in survival mode, right? And so it became important for my mom, because she also had gone through it, to be able to help others find fulfillment, whether before they retire or after retirement. And I remember some of the conversations that we had. I said, I know the work that you do with me, with my brothers, and with your friends and family. How about expanding it? I know so many people that would benefit from this kind of push, from this kind of coaching, from this kind of conversations that will help you to be able to look within, find yourself again, and also get information on how to package whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that is on your mind, whatever it is that is a passion. Because you can be passionate about something and not know how to package it for another person to be able to pay for it. You can be passionate about something and not know how to express yourself effectively, especially in this time and age where social media is like the biggest platform to be able to sell yourself. And by sell, I don't just mean for money. I mean even for meaning, even for purpose, even for just a satisfaction and a fulfillment, about your life. So without further ado, the reason and the purpose for this webinar is to teach us how to package our experiences into enterprise, how to make meaning of what it is that you do, your experiences, all of the things that you've been through. There is somebody that needs something that you've experienced. You'll be surprised. Some things that you think is common sense, that you think is common knowledge, you'll be surprised how uncommon it is. You'll be surprised how important it is to be able to, put words to the things that you are thinking and then be able to push it out to the general public. I was telling my dad is a pastor. I was telling him that I know so many things that you have taught us that so many upcoming pastors, so many young pastors can learn from. And they will not make the same mistakes that you made. They can have a template to be able to run, right? And for my mom too, I said, you've done 35 years in the civil service. There's so much that you know, that so many people in the civil service can work with, especially based on working in systems in Nigeria. She's also a pastor's wife. I said, there's so many things that the pastor's wives will need to learn from you. And so she has written about 4 books right now. She's working on about 4 more that I know about, right? And she has this initiative. She has other personal and one-on-one coaching that she's doing. She has businesses that she's running. And then there are those of us that she's constantly following up on to get things done. So you are in the right place. That is just what I'm trying to say, that you are in the right place. This is a destiny defining moment. I know my name, that you are about to receive something heavy. And my mother is not the only one that's going to be talking to us. We have 2 other speakers. We have Pastor Asemota. I think he's in the room right now with us. Yes, he's in the room. I've heard Pastor Asemota talk. I've seen some of his books, I've seen his work, and I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that you are about to receive something that you can run with for the next roughly 20 years. Something heavy that you can run with. He's going to be speaking with us today. I also know that Mr. Abiodun is going to be speaking with us. He's going to be talking to us about finances, about how to get finance to be able to do the things that you want to do. Because again, we know that money is very important in all of this conversation. We can be talking a lot, but if you don't know how to get the money to do the things you want to do, then you will just be stuck. So I'm going to bring up Dr. Mrs. Foluke Oni to begin this session. As I said, if there's still anyone, based on all I've said, if there's anyone you believe should be in this call, please send it to them so that they can actually be a part of this call. Without further ado, let me bring up the person who has gathered all of us here today, who has done everything to make sure that whatever it is, this little light of mine, I'm going to make it shine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on board none other than Dr. Mrs. Foluke Oni. If you can clap, clap. If you can shout, shout. If you can unmute, unmute. If you can dance, dance. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to see all of you here together. Good morning, my people. I can see a lot of people here that are my colleagues and everyone. I want to say thank you for coming up. God bless you. I want to welcome every one of us to this seminar. I appreciate all the introduction that has gone forth. And I want to also let us know that this particular webinar is packaged for us with you in mind. And just the way I am trying to, share my experience, every one of us, there's one thing that is common that I want to encourage us about. It is to learn, to continue to have, a learning spirit. Well, just like the topic, the theme of the webinar is experience to enterprise. I will not waste your time. I just want to go straight into what we have, and I'll be sharing my screen. And I will want you to forgive some of a little bit of mistakes. But one thing I can promise you is after the whole thing, I will correct them and send them to you. But I want to share my screen with us now. So here we go. Share. So while this something is rolling from experience to enterprise. Okay. I think it's bringing so many, I don't know. Can we see my screen, please?
Not
Please,
yet.
let me know if you are seeing my screen.
Yeah, I can see
There's
your
nothing
screen.
on the
It's
screen
loading.
Okay.
So you have started sharing.
Okay, we can see now.
And it's me that is not seeing my screen though.
You may need to slide right.
Slide right, okay. Okay, look on. I cannot. I'm sorry.
Let me go for it. There you go for it.
Down to empty.
Let me notice.
Yes.
We can see your screen now.
Okay, let me continue while he's working on it. If you can see it, the title is From Experience to Enterprise. Okay, I think I can see it now. Yeah. So we have 3 objectives that we want to achieve from this particular teaching, and that is what we have on the second screen. Is it okay? It says it is to help the retirees to find their niche, to rescue all of us from what we call rescue us from what we call bleak retirement, and then discover purpose and develop concrete discover purpose and develop what we live for. So I want to start by telling us a story, knowing fully well that it is not all of us that are here that are retired, though I'm very sure that most of us that are here have retired, because I know some of us, and I know some of us that are still planning towards it. So we are in the same shoe in the sense that those who have not retired, one thing you know is that you will soon retire. So that one is basic. So knowing what you should know today, yesterday, it will help you to know how today is going to be. So that's why you are okay where you are. So those who have not retired, you are still welcome. You are here, and it is very, very important because planning is very, very key to retirement. So, like we say in this particular, I say preparation is key. Preparation is key. I want to tell us a story. There is a king in a particular kingdom, and in those days, you know, they used to have what we call the king's fool. The king's fool has only one assignment, and the assignment is to make the king laugh by doing some foolish things. So he's an expert at it. He's very, very foolish. He will do things not the way people are reasoning, and everybody will just be laughing. So that is the assignment. So one day the king called the fool. He said, take this golden staff, go around the whole of the kingdom, go and look for a fool that is more foolish than you are, and give it to that person. So he said, you have a lot of, just go. I want to have a bigger fool in the palace. It's okay. So the fool went all over the place, went all over the kingdom. As he was just going, he would be asking them questions. Anybody that answers in a good way is disqualified. Be able to do, you know, to take the wand, that is golden wand. So after some time, the king sent for him. By the time he came, he had not yet found the fool, you know, that was bigger than him. So but the king was very sick. That was why they sent for the fool, that maybe he should just come and brighten the king's day, and everybody knew the king was on his sick bed. So when the fool got to the king, said, your Majesty, what is the matter? He said, that the way I'm looking at it is like I'm going on a very, very long journey, and then I am not even sure whether I will return. I may not even return. I'm going on a journey, or returnable journey. The fool said, what? That's a serious matter. That, your Majesty, have you prepared for this journey? The king said, not at all. I have not prepared for the journey. That's how the fool just brought out the golden wand. He said, I have to present this wand to you, because even me, as foolish as I am, if I'm going on a long journey, I will prepare, you know, for that journey, so that, you know, there is no way one will want to go for a long journey and you not prepare. So that is, you know, showing you that even a foolish person will know that wherever you are intending to go, you have to prepare. And how do you prepare? You prepare by getting information. And that is why I know many of us, we have been able to answer to this particular call, so that you will have the correct information. Because information, you know, will be just that thing that will prevent you from moving. Like a portion of the Bible say, I read the Bible a lot, so I get a lot of wisdom there in Proverbs. It says that the lazy man will just stay inside. He said there is a lion on the street. A lot of us will think there is a lion on the street, will not venture to go out, and it is because we didn't get information. So it's very, very important that we make information to be part of our daily dealings. Information will let you know what to do next. Sorry, I want to. Information will let you know the possibilities that are available for you. So I categorize retirees into 3, because I have just 20 minutes to do this one. I've already spent maybe like 5 minutes. It will look as if I'm rushing. But one thing is that we are more interested in you getting concrete things. We do not want to waste your time.
You know, I say the I got into college, I was very, very strong, because I had my,
somebody is not muted. Okay, we have categorized retirees into 3. So I categorize retirees into three parts. There are some that they believe that they have paid their dues, that, and by the time they are retiring, they are they believe that they have paid their dues, they have done all they can, and now it is just time to relax, and be enjoying. Some who have children, they will say, okay, my children will take care of me. And then some who don't, they will say, okay, I'll just be taking my salary. How much food will I be eating? What will I be doing? Just let me stay. Some will say my pension is okay. Some will say my husband will take care of me. Some will say, you see, I don't want to rest, eat, and sleep. I used to know one retiree when we were very young, when we were going to school. This man does not have two jobs. In the morning, he will carry newspaper, he will sit down in front of his house. And that is how all of us will greet him when we are going to school. And when we are coming back, we will greet him. He's still carrying newspaper. We don't know whether he got up to go inside to eat or not. So that one is another lifestyle. They believe that so those ones, they are the ones that they believe that they have paid their dues and there's nothing they want to do again. They just want to sit down and just eat, drink, and for tomorrow we die, because they don't even know how long they still have to live. So that is the reasoning. And some, they will want to live long and say, don't let me be there. So you cannot approach them for anything. They are not interested in anything. Then there's another category of people who believe that they traded their passion for salary to make ends meet. They traded their passion for so many years and they want to now pursue their passion. Included among these are those who still believe there is a light after the tunnel. These people, they are another category. They believe that, okay, I may be retired. They believe that I retire from this particular job. I am now going to go into the one I love to do, because a lot of us, we find ourselves doing the job, the work that we didn't really like. Maybe we would have preferred something, but that's something that we would have preferred to do. We don't know how to make it make money for us, so we just allow it to rest like that. So that is another category. And other ones that they believe that, okay, now that I've even, we love the work we did for 35 years, and then we now know that, okay, there are some other areas I can venture into. Let me go and see what is happening in the other areas. Those, and age is not even a factor in this category. So it is just the way you think. Then the third category is those who compulsorily source for money because they still have a lot of unmet obligations and are terrified at the thought of not being able to, or not anything. This category, I used to jokingly say, is men that fall into this type of category. So some of them will have 2 or 3 wives and the children will still be small. It's not everybody. I'm a biased person. So I say it is men, but women, they will just live according to their ability. So some men, when they know that they still have children in school, they know that, even if government has retired me, or even if my boss has retired me, I still have to work. And they will be running up and down to make sure that even if they don't have 2 wives, as long as, I pity men a lot, because I really see the struggle. They have to struggle and to achieve a lot of things. So these ones are another one. They just want to make that money running up and down. Even they don't even mind another employment. They will still go. So in all this category, it is not mentioned whether they made good money during their service year or not. Because even if you made good money and you start that money in bank, you are collecting little by little, you know that in no time that money will finish if you do not do anything about it. So, and it doesn't have anything also to do with maybe your age or anything, but it is just what the situation you find yourself. So what you now do is, which category do you belong to? Is it the category A or category B or C? So with that one, it will help you to know, what what you are up to and what you will be experiencing, or what you are going to need to do. So, but we see that despite most people, after they have retired, to go into something profitable is usually not easy for them. And it is because of the past experiences that they have had. So that is why we are putting together these things, to let you know that those experiences, they are not the end of the world. There are other areas that you will not even need to put all these things, in place. And this is, some of these experiences, some were duped, because when you retire, a lot of people know that as a retiree, and you don't have, too much experience. So they will come to you with a lot of suggestions. They know you are collecting your gratuity, you are collecting lump sum. They say, come and do this. Let's go and buy, I know you might say, buy groundnut in bags, go and hide it. When it becomes costly, you now bring it out, and then you now sell at maybe like triple the cost, the price of the groundnut. So he went and used all his gratuity to buy this thing. By the time they brought out this groundnut, it has been infected with insects. So what they didn't tell him was the preservation. So to just jump into something, it doesn't work like that. Some, they will say, bring money. I know of another group of people, they said they were doing fishery. This one said, oh yeah, bring money, we will do it together here, there. Everybody contributed money, and the man disappeared. So, and then others, they will be dealt with by employees. You say you have an enterprise, whether tailoring or catering, or you have a shop, you will have an employee that will be working for you. Another person that I know had this big Coca-Cola factory. These Coca-Cola people, they come, they bring their trailer to come and, fill her factory for her. When they go, it will be as if they didn't drop anything. And she will see them, bringing in full crate and then carrying out empty crate. She will be there. But by the time they go, it looks like magic. Not knowing that there was a form of collusion between her employees and the Coca-Cola people. Whatever it was that they were doing, only for her to just see that she didn't have anything, So there are a lot of experiences, and this is why a lot of people don't even want to do anything. Say, let me just keep my money in the bank. Let me keep my money in the bank. I don't want any trouble. And when you keep it in the bank, the interest is also so low, you don't even know what to do. So these are the common bad experiences that prevents people. But here now, where is it? I want to. So because of that, I want to change to the next. So we know, with all these things in mind, you will not want to do something, but there are still a lot of things you can do. For example, as a retiree, you have your advantages. Your advantages are the decades of wisdom, decades of years that you have used to learn one thing or the other, and that wisdom, nobody can take it away from you. You have the freedom, you have the time. Then the credibility is there for you because of the type of relationships you have had. The strong network is there because of the offices you have occupied. So based on this, you can turn your experience into personal enterprise. Remove this thing. Push it up. Okay. So, this is what we'll just want to share with us, that we can actually turn our experience, the experience we have, we can turn it into personal enterprise. You can start by answering these questions. What skills or knowledge have you built over the years? What problems have people always asked you to solve? What work or tasks came naturally to you? Which parts of your career did you enjoy the most? Because now you are not obliged to be doing things that you don't like to do. Now you are retired, you are responsible to yourself. You can pick the part of the job that you love to do and you can continue to do it. So, for example, if a former teacher, you can become teacher or anything. I know of already built a school, but she already built a school before she retired. What she was a government teacher. What she didn't prepare for was that she was common in Abuja. So that thing really gave her a lot of stress. She entered depression and they had to ask her to leave that school instead of killing herself. So these are things. But one thing is that as a former teacher, you don't have to have a school. There are other things that you can, there are even online teaching. Now things are even much more easier now. You can get those people, just a little of them, small group to start with, to be coming for lesson in your house. Whatever, there are a lot of the educational consultancy, exam preparation classes, etc. Writing learning materials. These are what teachers can, you can look at it, look at the areas you love. If you were a nurse, wellness coaching, elderly care, etc. You can convert your knowledge into something people can pay for. A retired person does not need aggressive marketing. What you need is word of mouth. Focus on word of mouth, WhatsApp broadcast list, religious groups or association, former colleagues and friends, acquaintances. Like a lot of my colleagues are here now, a simple social media page, community events. People trust credibility and experience. This is your strongest marketing tool. Let's say you are even a civil servant, you spent your life, but you love cooking. You can convert that cooking, into something, an enterprise. You can convert it into an enterprise. And there are ways you do it that even your employees, they will not prey on you. They will not destroy what you are doing. I have a friend too that is a caterer, and I used to tell her, I said, just put this thing. Tell us, a lot of bankers and even some civil servants and other people that are doing so, they don't have time to go to market to be able to cook some very difficult soup like afang, edikaiko, a lot. And if you are able to put these things together and then just put it on your WhatsApp, you'll be able to turn it into a big thing. You never can tell where it will go. Many of us, we have heard the testimony of the woman that put more and cook it in the White House. It is a very good one for those of us that are retirees, that there is nothing that is beyond our catching. And if you are also a man, you are also a man, there are you have been able to answer that question, that what is it that you love to do? You'll be able to get younger ones, you want to pass it across to them. You want to help them. These things, they give you more pleasure. They fulfill you. They give you a sort of fulfillment when you are able to do them. So you creating your niche now. You have to answer the following question too. And that is, what part of my career gave me the deepest sense of fulfillment? When people thank me, what do they usually thank me for? What life experiences have shaped my compassion and understanding of others? You know, if money was not a barrier, what kind of impact would I love to make now? Who do I feel naturally drawn to help? What problem do I feel equipped to solve today? You know, so these are the questions you need to ask yourself. And this is the final one that I want us to continue to tell ourselves, that your experience is your enterprise and your story is your strength. You can say that one to yourself. My experience is my enterprise. My story is my strength. Say it to yourself over and over until it becomes part of you. Before you know it, all these things that you didn't take note of before, they will start coming up. And before you know it, you become your own CEO. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Ma. It's so that I will know that all of us have been here. Can we unmute our mics and say something? Let's unmute our mics and say something, so that I will know that all of us will be listening.
That was wonderful.
Yay!
That's wonderful.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm still waiting. Oh, I'm still waiting. Oh, everybody, let me be sure that some of us were not just cooking rice. I'm like, she's talking. Yeah, that's okay. But at least they can see that I'm here. This is how we will know that you are here. Please, let's unmute our mics. Let's say something.
Thank you very much. That was very, very, very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you.
Madam Ngozi, thank you.
Very much.
Good morning.
That's
Good morning, ma.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, ma.
wonderful intro. God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Hello. Hello, ma.
We can hear you.
Hello, ma.
We can
Yes,
hear you,
ma.
Ma.
So I want to say, mommy is seriously making sense. We are
Come on now.
getting this and we are getting it right.
Hey.
Thank you very much, ma. I'm very
Thank
Thank
you.
you. God bless
Thank you so much, Ma.
Yes,
Thank
It's
you.
like that.
How are you?
Madam
Doc, how are you?
Odupe.
Thank you very much, Ma. It was definitely food for thought.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Doc, this is Larry. Thank you. Well done.
My brother.
Thank you.
Me,
Okay.
I was actually looking forward to Salary talking, because I know
Mr.
that he was
Larry.
driving. He was driving
Okay.
for a while. So I wasn't sure if he was able to listen, but he did. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was
All
quite
right, sir.
exciting. Well done. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, so that is just the
Thank you.
beginning. We are just about to now enter. You know, that was introduction to prepare the ground for what is coming. Because Reverend Simon Asemota now is looking as if he's not about to hit us right, left, and center. But me, I know, because me, I've heard him talk before. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can get your writing material, your writing pad, because I've learned many times when you are listening, if you are writing some things down, it helps you to be able to remember some of the things that has been said. So please, now see, if you were distracted before, I beg you, for the next 30 to 40 minutes, please let us lock in. Let us look in. I know what I'm saying. It is not just, teaching. There's also a power that comes behind every word that, that will be spoken. So because sometimes it's not as if you don't know what to do. Sometimes it is the empowerment to do that you don't have. And there's a spiritual aspect of these things that many of us ignore. There's a part that the Spirit of the Lord helps with. There's something called the spirit of might. Yes, the empowerment to do. You can know what to do and not be able to do it, but there is an empowerment that can come. So I'm not going to do more because I started preaching now. They had us. Please let us welcome our next speaker, Reverend Simon Asemota. Please, if you can clap. If you can shout. If it is, what is it called? Reaction you can give. Please help me welcome our next speaker. Thank you so much. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Refire, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. I thank God for the opportunity to come and share thoughts with us this morning on this retirement for a refirement. And what I'll be looking at is having the right mindset. Having the right mindset. The truth of it, to be mindless is to be worthless. You must have a mind of your own. What do you intend to achieve in life? What's your goal? What do you want to achieve? Now, focusing on the area where we talk about, we are looking at Tari, just like what Mommy was saying. A man cannot vomit what he has not eaten. A man cannot vomit what he has not eaten. Is what you have eaten
Sorry, we can't
no
hear.
matter the condition you find yourself. I want to say this, nobody old age, nobody learned. Means that tells us that the time you have spent in walking. The Bible also tells us, the Bible also tells us that
I think the network is...
Hello, are you hearing me now?
We can hear you now, sir.
Okay, the Bible tells us that if you are not faithful in another man's own, who will give you your own? And a lot of people retire and intend to be better when they are out of job. It's not possible. You don't learn how to eat with the left hand at old age. It's what you carry that will follow you. It's a law. What you steal to get, you will steal to keep. What you work to get, you will work to keep. What you labor to get, you labor to keep. What you love to get, you will love to keep. So it's a law. How you get it, that is how you sustain it. So as you grow in whatever business you are doing, that when you are now old, that will be your manifestation. So it is very important, even as we are working, no matter who you are working with, that is why the Bible tells us. Yes.
Sir, we can't see you. Your video is off. But we can hear you.
Can you see me now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, we can see you now. Yes.
Okay. Now,
thank you.
You find out that it is what a man eats that is vomit. A lot of people think that, okay, when I'm working, when I'm working for, whether you are working for government. So I just want, because we are talking to retiring, now have it in your mind. What you are when you are in the office, that is what you become when you retire. The Bible said there is no special market, whether for good people, for bad people. We are all human. And whatever a man soweth, that's what he's going to reap. That is why you see a politician in Nigeria, when he leave office, he become broke. There was a governor that called me to come and see his house when he was a governor, he has this house that he built. He was using government money to build houses here and there. While he left office, the people that were helping him sold everything. He didn't get anything. One of the houses he took me to in Guabalada was one uncompleted building. He was not telling me the story. I was looking at him because I remember those days when he was a governor. There was a day I was traveling. When he blew Sadi, they drove us inside the forest. So unfortunately, both of us were in a meeting. I was a guest speaker, and he also was a speaker in that meeting. When both of us became friends, and I now told him my experience with him. So what am I saying? There's no special market for the believer and a market for the unbeliever. It is what you sow that you reap. Talking to retiring. So what you are in the office now, if you don't work to get what you are getting in the office, when you are out of office, it's going to go the same way. So what am I saying this morning? Commitment. The Bible says that if you are not committed to that which is another man's, who will give you your own? It's a question. Who will give you your own? And you always find out that you always work for people. And as you work with people and work for people, that is how you build your future. So to be mindless is to be worthless. So I just want to, talk about that. And I like what mommy have shared. I was really blessed by it. And even though I have entered into retirement and I'm now into refinement, I am very blessed, and it's telling me stay put to work and get down to business. What do I do? Okay, well, let me move away from there. You must resolve what to do and prepare for it. Once you have a mindset, resolve on what to do. Don't be moved by what you see. Life is not competition. Nobody is the same. We might be classmates, we might be age mates, we might be colleagues in the office, we are not grace mates. All of us have different grace. So you don't go and be competing with other people. There are people that are in the office, you don't know how they get to where they are. Maybe their parents have inheritance for them. You are looking at them to know the type of school you will put your children, all of those things. Those things are competition. See, have your own mindset, because we are talking about having a mindset to achieve. You must have your own mindset. Know what you are able to do. I give illustration with this. Those days when we were in school, talking about having mindset, you don't need to fight before you know the person you can beat. You don't need to fight. When you see the person, once you see him, you know that this one I can beat this one. You don't need to fight. The one that can beat you, when you see the person, when the person, are you talking to me? Say, no, it's not you. Everybody, you are here now. I didn't talk to him, but he's only for my trouble. You know it. So the same thing when it comes to preparation. Now, when you prepare, it prevents poor performance. Know that I am coming, I have a life to live. In my life, what am I supposed to be doing now? I always tell people, take your time. It's not a cost. Take your time. It's not an insult. It simply means your time is not my time. When mommy was talking, it now made me remember, my father was working in Uniben. And many years ago, I lost my father in 2018. I remember many years ago, for about 13 years before my father retired, one day I visited him and I begin to look at him and I said, my dad will soon retire, because it's a mindset as the firstborn of the family. I have a responsibility to take care of my parents. So I said, my father will soon retire. And I begin to look, I asked him, when will your retirement be? He said, from that time to the time I was asking him, it was 13 years. What do? I started putting things together. No matter what it is, I started, because I have a mindset that my dad will soon retire. When he retires, what am I going to be doing? So I now begin to put out things. And what did I do? I started building a house. Now, my mindset was that when I finish building that house, whatever comes out from that house, that becomes my salary. It took me 13 years to achieve it. Have a mindset. So for a person, whether you are retired, you are still in the office, you are hearing, you are in this meeting, to be mindless is to be worthless. You must have a mind of your own. Not to have the mind of your own simply means you are just somebody that, anything can go. You must have a mindset. You must know where you are going. And you know that where that person is going and where you are going is quite different. Like I told you, life is not competition. Don't be looking at another person's own to make your own. Know what you have. Know the kind of seed that you have. Then plant the seed. If you don't plant that seed, you cannot have a tree. And in that tree, there is fruit. In that fruit, there is another tree. There is a fruit that have a tree that is in that tree, that is in that fruit. You find out that you have so many things. I tell you, retirement is not death sentence, but it's the mindset that you have, that you build. And one of the, how do you build that and keep this mindset going? You must, while you are still in the office, make and keep contact, build relationship. Have a mindset that you build relationship. The Bible tells us, as a pastor, please, those of us, I don't know, everybody here might not be a Christian, but you see, Jesus is my standard and the word of God has become my example. So I will always draw strength from what the word says. Now, look at what the Bible says. It talked about a servant, a manager that was working with somebody. What did he do? The Bible says that the unrighteous, they are much wiser in their generation more than us. He knew one day that he's going to leave his job. What did he do? He started planning. And what was his strategy? He built relationship. When they told him that, hey, this is your job, come and give an account, he ran to those places. And that is what I'm saying. A lot of us, we don't make or build contact or relationship while we are in office. You must have mindset that you will lead. You don't build good contact. You know, everybody that comes your way, there's somebody that will contribute to you tomorrow. As you are in the office, what do you do with the kind of people that come your way? Because when mommy was talking something just like, he referred to a lot of things about, oh, you have friends, you have colleagues. If you were not somebody that have contributed to other people's life, you have not sown good seed, you don't have good relationship, who will open door for you? I remember just some months ago, I was watching a video of a man that was, you know, he was supposed to have retired from an office. While he was still in the office, he spent some few weeks more than the time he was supposed to leave. Everybody in the whole office gathered and they were weighing him out of office. They were telling him to go, take your things and go. Tomorrow, if he has something to do, you think that people will patronize him. Always know that every relationship is like a relay. Anybody that God permits you to meet as you go in this journey, have this mindset. It's like a relay. And I always tell people, relationship can be handed over. You can even hand over relationship to your children. Your children can inherit good relationship that you build. And good relationship is bigger than money. It's bigger than any business you can do. Somebody can contact you. Somebody can connect you. It's always a relationship. And it's like a race, like a relay race. When you are doing a relay, you give the baton to somebody else. Know that, and no matter how, have this mindset. Every relationship God allow you to encounter is a relay. You can be handed over. The next one I will talk about, use your time and your work to build cloud. Have this mindset. Use it to build cloud. Without cloud, there is no rain. Without cloud, there is no rain. If the Bible says that if the whole cloud be full of rain, they will empty themselves upon the earth. Have this mindset. I'm still talking about build good relationship. It's very important. Relationship will help you. Today, I just want to share this testimony with us. Today, the place I am today, where our church is built, the school and the marriage academy, everything that we are doing now, where it's built, it was through somebody, through relationship, that I got this place 28 years ago. 28 years ago, I carried some group of boys. They were going to, you know, talk to girls in the hostel. That was in Jos, 28 or about 29, about, it's up to about, yes, between, okay, 28 years ago, yes. And what they were going to do was wrong. I remember that day I spoke to this young man. I said, see, you hired me quite all right because I was doing kabu. I said, but this thing you want to do is wrong. That was it. And the person became my friend. Through him, when we were looking for a place, God led us, and through him, his boss gave us this land 28 years ago. And this place now is in hundreds of millions. So what am I saying? Know that relationship creates a cloud. Always know. Be intentional about your relationship. Don't just do things. You will have this mindset. Everybody that God allow you to meet, they are cloud. And I tell you something, it will bring about a blessing to you. Another thing again, you must learn to trust people. You must learn to trust people. You must learn to trust people, and you must build yourself to be trusted. Now, why do I say trust people? You always need people. And I want to say this to us, trust is not a gift of the Spirit. You don't pray to be trusted. You earn it with time. You earn it with time. So trust is built. Have this mindset. Keep on. Don't just say, somebody say, trust me. For those of us, now you fall into business, you fall into things that somebody will ask you, like Mommy said, because I listened very well when Mommy was talking, and talked about people that were, you know, retired and they collected money from them. Let me tell you, any business you have not tried, don't invest in it. Always look at it, put it, try it a little, and allow and check those people. Let them earn your trust. Don't just trust people. At the end of the day, you will lose. So you must learn to trust people, because without trust, you can't build a business. You can't build anything that will last. So trust is very important. Trust, and you must trust people, and you must be trusted. Like I said, trust is not a gift of the Spirit. You need to have this mindset. And as you trust people, you begin to have that understanding and begin to have that mindset. It will destroy what you are trying to build. It will destroy what you are trying to build. So it's very important. It's very important for us to have that mindset where we can be trusted. Now, another thing I will talk about in right mindset to achieve, in achieving your goal, you must have manage your time very well. Manage your time very well. Everything exists in time and season. Everything exists in time and season. There's a time for everything under the sun. So take your time. It's not an issue. What time are you? What are you at this time? What are you supposed to be? The Bible talked about the children of Issachar. They have understanding of time, and they knew what Israel, they knew what they were supposed to be doing and every time of their life. And the Bible says all their brethren was in their command. I want to ask, what time are you? There are some people I see today. When I'm talking to young people, I see people today, I always say, what time are you now? Now, it's not what time we are, because we are all not operating the same time. My time is not your time. Your time is not my time. So take your time. So what time are you? Time management is very, very important if you want to achieve the right set, the mindset, the right mindset is to know if you want to achieve, you must manage your time very well. There's a time for everything under the sun. So time management, you must use it. The time you are supposed to do something, do it. Use that time for it. Use that time for it. The Bible even told us, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Learn to redeem your time. Don't just give your time to everything. Check, what am I supposed to be doing? My time is not your time. So time management is very important in the right mindset to achieve your goal. The right priority at the right moment. You must have the right priority at the right moment. It's very important for you to achieve your goal in this, having this mindset. It is very important. The right mindset, the right priority at the right moment is very important. Well, when I saw that, I talked about, well, that leads us to self-discipline. If you have a mindset to achieve your goal, you must have self-discipline. You must know what you ought to be doing at the time. Discipline. The Bible told us that a man that have no rule over his spirit is like a city without wall. We must have self-discipline. Discipline about time, discipline about your money, discipline about how you relate, discipline about, delay gratification, all of those discipline. You must have the mind, because if you don't have a mind of your own, people will call you. There's some place you don't go. There's some things you don't do, because you must have a mindset to achieve your goal. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So you must have a mindset, the right mindset. Develop the right mindset. You have a vision. You must have that mindset to be able to work with your vision and your goal. Be conscious of it. A lot of people, they don't have a mind of their own. They don't have the right mindset. In fact, they abuse themselves. They talk down on themselves. Oh, I cannot make it. Nobody has ever made it in my family. Listen to me. You are not like the lot of them. The lot of us is not like their own. You must have the mindset. How do you develop the right mindset? To develop the right mindset is know where you are going. Everybody's not going with you. I give this example. When you go to a park, you don't enter a vehicle because the vehicle is fine. You enter a vehicle because it's going to your destination. So you must look how the right mindset, the right kind of people. You have to be in the right cloud to have that right mind of people. You must know who are your friends. Where are they going? You must know. So when you want to enter a vehicle in the park, you don't enter because the vehicle is fine. You don't enter because the vehicle have AC. You don't enter because the driver is from your village. You enter because of your destination. Is it taking me to where I'm going? Even it will lead you to the kind of friends you keep, the kind of place you go. Even the place of worship, you must know. These people, are they going to the same direction with me? Because we are not all going to the same place. There are many voices in the world. There are so many things that you see. Even the things you buy, when you have the right mindset, it affects your purchase, the things you buy, the type of things everything around it will affect it. It will affect it very well. You know, another thing I would want to share with us about this, having this right mindset, is that you know that as you are moving, you must surround yourself with positive influence. And I tell you, to have this mindset, you must surround yourself with positive influence. You know, a man that wants to build a skyscraper, his foundation is not like every other foundation. So if you have the mind right set, you know where you are going, the type of material you'll be looking for. If a man, you have somebody that wants to build a skyscraper, if you see the foundation is digging, somebody that want to build a bungalow would have finished. This guy is still digging. Why? Because of where he's going. Because of where he's going. You know, the Bible told us in the book of Genesis 11, it was telling us about the people that were building the Tower of Babel. He said the kind of company that they have, the way they have, he said, come on, these things, nobody can stop them. God have to come down to come and remove. So you must have the right mindset and surround yourself with positive influence. And who are these positive influence? Number one, the type of book you read. You must not read books that will tell you can't succeed. You must not be dealing with things that will not help you. No, you must, just like you are online, the kind of things you listen to, the kind of things you listen to are the things that sharpen your mind. This type of meeting online that you engage in sharpens your mind and your mental landscape, creates you and begin to feed you. Follow the lead and the mood of your mindset that we want to stop anything that we want to, cut you off or put you back. You remove it. Negative mindset, you don't tolerate it around you. Why? Because of that thing you want to build. There is a great, future ahead of you. Once you have this mindset, this mindset is very important. If you have a mindset, oh, I cannot make it, nobody ever succeed in my family, I don't know how. If you begin to make excuse, you find out that you will not arrive at the place that God wants you to arrive, at that vision that you have. So this thing we are talking about, the right mindset, it is very important. The right mindset, the right kinds of people, the kind of thing you surround yourself, the book you listen to, the tape you listen to, the kind of friends you keep. We talk about, because there are just relay, they are just in life. In life is a journey. As you begin to go in this journey, these are the things you begin to sharpen your mind. And as you build this mind, because to be mindless is to be worthless. And it makes you have a single mind. The Bible says a double-minded person is unstable. Not just one, all his ways. So you have to have a single-minded person. You must have a mindset that will take you to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, I will tell you about the story about the 12 spies that were sent to go and spy the land. Now, haven't talked about this right mindset. It doesn't mean that you are depending on yourself. You know that you can, by the strength of God that God has put in you. You are not empty. Nobody God created empty. That vision that God put in your mind can come to pass, no matter how big it is. In fact, the bigger the vision, the more of God, and you will fulfill that vision. These 12 spies went to spy this land. When they got there, they all saw the same thing. But 10 of them said, we are like grasshopper. The other 2 said, we can. And both of them were correct. The one that saw that they were grasshopper, that is it. They are correct because that's what they saw. They refuse to see other things. Like some people, they have this mindset, negative mindset. Everything about them is negative. You tell them this one, come, I say nobody have ever done it before. I cannot. That person is just being negative. You can build this right mindset by the books you read, by the kind of association you keep, by the place you go. Just like you can't attend this meeting and don't come out with a product full of faith to be able to achieve your goal, whether retire or you want to refire. That is it. You cannot attend this meeting and remain the same. So having this kind of people, what do? They said we are like grasshopper. But the Bible told us about Caleb and Joshua. He said they have another spirit. Where do they contact that spirit of? The right mindset. We must learn to have another spirit, another mind, believing the impossible. Because there is a spirit in man. The inspiration of the Almighty giveth him understanding. There is something about what God asks you to deliver. I tell you, it has not been seen before, but God has created it. He has given you the wisdom to be able to achieve it. It's achievable. Have the right mindset. Be positive. Another set of people are very negative. Listen to me. You want to achieve something here, you must have the right mindset. You must learn to live positive in a negative environment. When men are saying there's a cast down, because of the right spirit you have, you rise up and say, there is a lifting. I can make it. I can do all things, not few, all things, because there is strength that comes from above. You are not a mistake. God does not create anything a wasted product. You are a product that God has created, and having the right mindset. That is why, you see, the reason why we must have the right mindset, the mind is to be renewed. And you renew your mind by the type of the things you listen to. You can't listen to mommy this morning, I haven't heard what she talked about, and listen to what I'm saying, and listen to the next speaker, and don't get up strong. You can eat anything, you can do anything, you can achieve any goal. God begin to lead you to fulfill your path, to bring it by the right mindset that you have. These 12 spies, 10 said we are like grasshopper. The other 2 said, come on now, we have another spirit. If God be on our side, we will succeed. What happened? Those 10 never made it, but these 2 made it and entered. I want to say to you this morning, you will enter and fulfill your purpose. You will achieve your goal with this right mindset that you have, no matter where you are. Maybe others have failed before you. You will not fail. You will succeed in this your life work, having the right mindset to achieve your goal. Another thing I will talk about is keep learning. There are some things that we have learned before. Yes, we keep on learning and unlearning the things we have learned before. You keep on. Iron sharpened iron. So does a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. Keep on learning. The world changes, so we must. The world is changing. Today, even some days ago, I was learning about AI, on how to use AI on all of those things. If you don't learn, you will lose. If you don't learn, you will be outdated. And when you are outdated, that's gone. You will not be useful. That is why when you are outdated because of the things that you have in your mind that is not useful. So you must keep changing. You must keep learning. Your allocation, as you allocate your portion monthly, you must make allocation in your monthly budget on how you can, buy books, attend workshop, and expand your skills, set boundaries. Knowledge is the fuel that powers your growth, your growing mindset. That's it. Knowledge, there are some people you don't read. You need to learn to read book. I always said a man that reads is a man that book his future. A man that reads is a man that book his future. If you want to travel now, if you book, it will be cheaper. When you buy a data, it's more expensive. That's what book does. If you book, If you read books, you are a reader. You are booking your future. It's more cheaper. So I said knowledge is the fuel that powers our growing mindset. So where there is no knowledge, the people cannot excel. So we must keep on, the world is evolving. There are things that we were using before. They are no longer useful now. So you must constantly update yourself. If you don't update yourself, you'll be outdated. So it's very important. Another thing I will talk about is that mindset time. You must have a mindset. Your mindset, you must have a time for it. You must create time for when you begin to feed your mind. When you begin to feed your mind. Making excuse does not excuse you. I wrote here, excuse is the currency of a poor-minded person. And to be mindless is to be worthless. Is to be mindless is to be worthless. When you constantly make excuse, is the currency. That's the only currency that a poor-minded man will always, oh, nobody. You know, I was teaching my children yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was telling them about the man that was in John chapter 5, that was at the pool when the angel will come and trouble, healing will come. The man problem, senior Jesus. Jesus was just 30 years old. The man was 38 years old. He has been there. The problem, senior Jesus. Even when Jesus came to come and meet him, would thou be made whole? Instead of him to take action, you know what he said? He said, I have no man. A man that keep on making excuse does not have a mindset to break through. Excuse is the currency of a poor-minded person. Now, if you currently constantly make excuse, oh, the economy is bad, let me tell you, you can never become a lizard in Nigeria and turn alligator when you travel abroad. It's not possible. The only thing that will happen, if you are a lizard here, when you travel abroad, you only change color. By reason of environment, you still remain at the level of a lizard. So let not make excuse at all. Take responsibility. Excuse is the currency of a poor-minded person. To be mindless is to be worthless. Another one I will talk about is procrastination. If you have the right mindset, you don't procrastinate. The things you can do now, do it now. The Bible says, whatever your hand findeth to do, do it now. Now, not tomorrow. I wrote down here, procrastination is the graveyard of every good intention. Procrastination is the graveyard of every good intention. So give attention to your intentions so that you can achieve and have benefit for life and have benefit for your retirement so that you can retire. And like I said before, as I was starting my talk, I said, no man learn to eat with left hand at old age. So it's what you are that you produce. You can't change it. You cannot. That's just the way. Because if you want to learn how to eat at old age, you want to eat with left hand, all the food will be on the floor. All the food will be on the floor. So you find out that you are what you are. A man will always receive harvest. So be committed to it. So I said procrastination is the graveyard of every good intention. So give attention to your intentions. Now, let me go back to what mommy was teaching us and talk about retirement. Let me tell you, there is a job that you get. There is a talent that God has given to you. Your job and your talent are different. God does not expect you. They can retire you from your job. That's what mommy was saying. Nobody will retire you from your talent. But a lot of us, we focus on our job and we neglect our talent. Whatever you don't use, you lose. Whatever you don't use, you lose. God expects us to go to job, but don't neglect your talent. Your talent is what take care of your future. Your job is what take care of your present. So you use your job to build your talent that take care of your retirement. That's just the way it is. You don't drop it. There is something, mommy was looking for, I said there is something that you can do without being paid for. What is that thing? What is that thing? But a lot of what we do, we focus on the job. When we retire, we now want to It's not possible. Your talent. That is why nobody can retire you from your talent. But somebody can retire you from your job. But nobody can retire you from. Don't procrastinate. Develop it side by side. In fact, there's no rest in this life. That is why it's only when you die they rest in peace. It's only dead. There's no rest. There's no time you say, oh, I have rested. No, there's nothing. In fact, let me even tell you, there's even nothing like retirement. There's nothing like retire. Retire for what? Are you breathing? Let everything that have breath pay its rent. Let it spend money. So what are you going to be spending? If you hip up, inflation will catch up with it. 50,000 last year is not the same 50,000 now. So there's nothing like that. It's not you go with your job and you develop your talent. And as you are older, your talent begin to take care of you. That is when people come for counseling. That is when they begin to talk about your experience, the things you have experienced, and you are a product of what you have. You sell it. Those are the things you sell. Another thing I want to tell us again, service. Service. Look at what I wrote. I've always told my children, I keep on saying, service is the rent you pay for every space you occupy. Service is the rent you pay for every space you occupy. You always be in service. You always be in service. Mommy talked about, mommy and daddy, when we were talking, the other day they came. They are still in service. Look at mommy, still organizing program. Is it not in service? Service is your rent. As long as you have bread, you have to serve. So service is the rent you pay for every space you occupy. No service, no payment. So you offer service to get paid. So at every level, there's always a service. Why are we so negative about everything? Why? A lot of people, they are too negative even to help themselves. Oh, very negative. They always think about the worst against themselves. Oh, the economy is bad, as if your name is economy. Let me tell you, there are still so many things that is happening today. Look at what people are still building. Why are you always counting yourself? These people, you can't help them. You talk about, okay, we are in this meeting now, we're talking about saying, we don't mind. What you'll be thinking in his mind, don't mind them. Now they know where they get their money. You know, even see, and they know they tell us what they happen. You know, they know they tell us. Listen, if you don't do something with life, life will do something with you. One of you must do something with yourself. If you keep on being negative by yourself, somebody can be here listening to me and I say, mommy is not telling us what they are doing. Are you not seeing our daughter? Are you not seeing mommy? Are you not seeing that? Let me tell you, they are using what they have. But what is happening? Now, who are the most wicked people in this world? The most wicked people in this world are poor-minded people. Even Jesus told us in the book of Matthew, most wicked, they don't use what they have. They will keep it and complain about what other people are using. There's nobody that God created empty, including you and me. We are not empty. We have something to offer. And if you cannot offer what God has given to you, you will become an orphan. And nobody's sorry for anybody. In this life that we are, you can see it all over the world. Everybody is eating something from somebody. America want to swallow other one want to swallow. And everybody thinks that somebody's his problem. Listen to me, use what you have. Use what you have. Now, talking about using your talent, I want to show it to you as I round up. My time is almost up. The Bible says in the book of Matthew, it said there's this man, use your talent. Look at what it said. It said this man was traveling into a far country. I'm talking from Matthew 25. He gave talent. He gave 4. He gave 2. And the other one, he gave 5. He gave 2. And he gave 1. And look at what happened. The one that had 5 did something with it. The right mindset is always doing something. The wrong mindset is always looking at what the right mindset people is doing. The wrong mindset is always looking at other people. Oh, look at this one. Oh, look. What about your own? I can't use it. It's too small. Nothing is too small. If God give it to you, it's not small. If it's in your hand, is not small. So today, have the right mindset. And if you have the right mindset, you will grow and become strong. Don't be discouraged. Don't say, oh, I made a mistake when I was in office. Go and dust it. That's your gift, that talent that you have. Raise it up. Use it. There are people that become somebody in life, starting from old age. Look at what Abraham, Bible tells us about Abraham. Said he was strong in faith, giving glory to God. Even he did not consider. Don't consider what has happened before. Don't consider how you have failed. I know. Let me move on so that I can round up. I want to say to us, why are you so, when we talk about people that are negative, don't be so negative. Don't count yourself. A lot of people are too full of negativism. They always count themselves out. Oh, not us. Where are they? Say, these people. What about you? Did you escort anybody to this world? No. You came on your own, and God has a mission. God is the only manufacturer that does not waste his product on anything. If God has created you, there is a purpose for your life. Have the right mindset. No, there is a spirit in man. The inspiration of the Almighty giveth him understanding. Develop the right mindset. You will achieve your goal. God bless you. Thank you for giving the opportunity to share thoughts with us. I love you all. Thank you. God bless you. Amen.
Hey, please let us celebrate Reverend Simon Asemota. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do in this place. We
Thank you
unmute.
very much, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so
And
much.
we appreciate our speaker. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much.
My
You've
goodness.
done a noble. Yeah. Thank you for the inspirational talk, Reverend.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everyone.
They say,
Thank
let
you.
everything that has breath, parents
Yes.
are breathing it down. Are breathing it down. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. This was a powerful one. Before, please, I forgot to say that at the beginning, that if you have questions, we're going to have a Q&A session very quickly, because I know that another thing that happens with this kind of sessions is that, something would have been said to your spirit, and, you will now apply it and relate it to your own personal life. And you can now say, I know what you're saying, but what about me specifically? There's what is doing me. There's where my own shoe is paining me, right? So, yes, Mama, let everything that has bread parent. So, there'll be a question and answer. So please, you can just note your questions. Reverend Asemota, you're still with us, or should we do the Q&A, or is this something, can we do it?
Please, if you can do it now, I'll be glad, because I have another meeting. They are waiting for me.
All right.
Yes.
Let's just do now. So please, if you have a question for him, let me see your hand up. You can just signify, and then we'll call you before we get to our final speaker for today. If you have a specific question that you want to ask, maybe about what he has said, or you have a personal challenge that you would like for him to speak to, now is the time. Saz, Maz, anyone? Any question? Is there anything in the comment section? No. Oh, there are no questions. Look at that. Oh, we really celebrate God. We celebrate God in you, sir. We thank you so much. Me, I will still come to your DMO. We are still going there. No, there's still a lot that is still going to happen. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you. And we can release you to go. All right. Very quickly, we are getting to the next and the final segment of this particular webinar. And we're going to be having our next speaker. This person, let me just quickly say a few things. You see, I didn't know much about money, about investment, about savings, about business, about making money, managing money, and multiplying money. I didn't know much. I'm a creative person. And if you know anything about creatives, we just want to do passion. We just want to be creating. We don't want to hear anything about business, about money. We don't care. And that's why you have a lot of broke, poor creative people. They will be creating, they will be passionate, but they will be poor because they do not know money. But when our next speaker entered my life, through my mother, there were conversations that we had about money that opened my eyes to a lot of things about money. And he was also the first person that believed enough in me. I don't know what it is that he saw. Maybe he will tell us when he starts to speak to us that what is the thing that you saw, sir, that made you decide that no, this girl, there's something that can be, invested in. And that's a way that an investor thinks. That's a way that somebody that has strategies about, financial freedom. That's the way that they think. They look at you, they can see opportunities in, different things that present themselves. They know how these opportunities present themselves. They know how to position themselves for those opportunities so that you will not lose, so that you will not fail. These are the things that this person, knows that he is coming to come and teach us about within the next roughly 30 to 40 minutes. Please, again, you know how we do. Please let us put our attention to this. We're almost done, but I want us to take as much as we can from this session. Without wasting further time, let us welcome our next speaker, Mr. Abiodun Kola. Please let us celebrate him. Please let us celebrate our next speaker. Oh, that's how we know that we are all here. Thank you so much. You are up,
welcome, sir. Welcome.
Sir, we can't hear you, just in case you are speaking. No.
Sorry, I was just trying to get used to Zoom. Everybody now uses Teams officially, so Zoom has become a bit of thank you, Peace. I don't know. I didn't even know I was the one you were describing because you were hyping me. Well, good morning. Good morning, Pastor Asemota. I caught part of his delivery, and some concepts in life are eternal. Whether in the church, outside the church, the principles of life remain, infallible and eternal, and success follows specific pathways. I have sent the presentation to Mommy. I don't know if she has gotten it. Or on the other hand,
Did you send it to my email? Did you send to my email?
Yeah, I sent you your email. But if I have the right, I can also share.
You can
directly.
share your screen.
Okay, great. Let me do that. Okay. You see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
We
Yes.
can.
And it's big enough.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So this is the topic. But let me just do a brief introduction. So my name is Biodun Kola. I don't even know how to describe myself. But I'm a public servant. I work with one of the MDAs in the financial system as regulation. I am also a passionate agricultural practitioner, a climate change enthusiast, a former actor like Peace, and I'd actually wanted to be an actor growing up. I also wanted to be a lawyer, and by God's grace, I'm going to do everything and all. I've spent about 20-something years working across various organizations, public service, private, international NGO. And I got to know Mrs. Oni when we all both won a scholarship to Australia, offered by the Australian government. I think it was in 2012. to 2014. And that was the beginning, of course, of what I'll call a mutually beneficial friendship, getting to know Daddy and, of course, the whole family. So the strategies for financial freedom in retirement, which I'm supposed to talk about, is something I've always been passionate about. In the course of my work, I'd worked in development finance, and I'll see how people in search of financial freedom focus on actually money. Well, why finance, can equate money? Money is part of finance. It's not the only way to finance. And so if you're seeking financial freedom, you should not focus strictly on money. I like to paraphrase this biblical verse that seek ye the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added unto it. So when it comes to financial freedom, it should be seek ye the kingdom of value, and every other thing plus financial freedom will be added onto it. But I digress. Let me just show you the what we're going to talk about. We have the introduction, definition of terms, strategies to financial freedom that are global, and then contextual strategies that looks at our own peculiar situation in Nigeria, and then of course final tips and takeaways. So when we say retirement, personally I like my webinars or presentations to be interactive. So I'd like to ask the audience just to type in the chat box, what does retirement means to you in your own specific context? Because we have different perhaps we're all working in different places. If you're working 9 to 5, what does retirement means to you? If you're self-employed, what does it mean to you? If you're an entrepreneur who likes to dabble and do different value creating enterprises, what does retirement means to you? And is it an absolute thing? Do you retire and just get to a stage and say, oh, I'm retired, and then totally you just cut off from everything? Is it a gradual thing? You start retiring from a certain period, or is it something that you do periodically? You can have daily retirement, so you get home and from 4 p.m. you just stop doing anything that has to do with work. Please share in the chat box. I'm going to read it out, and then we'll now talk about what I see to be the concept of retirement, both the way we understand it generally and the way perhaps we should be seeing it. So if you will, I would like to see some responses in the chat box. Or if anybody wants to talk, I would be willing to listen. So the concept of retirement, what does it mean to you? Peace, would you like to say something? What does retirement, what does it mean?
I already typed it in the comment, but I can also speak on it.
Okay, all right, great. Please go ahead.
So for me, retirement would be not having to do anything for, not having to do something for money to survive. Like the moment I get to a point where the things I'm doing doesn't necessarily have to be for money to survive, that for me would be retirement.
Retirement. Mm-hmm. So when you have no reason to worry about working or doing anything to make money to survive.
Yes.
I think those are the key words. That would be retirement for you. Okay, we also have, I think, Madam Ngozi saying that retirement to me means the time one exits from regular paid employment after a specified period of time, which of course, for public servants, we believe is 60 years, right? I think the professors in the universities have been able to push this forward. I don't know, I think it's now 65 or 70. I think regular teachers have also been given some sort of extension. All right, so that's the, and Mrs. Modupe Peter says, working for leisure, not to pay bills. Nice. Mr. Ogunkwade JK said, retirement to me is a movement from one phase of life to another phase in order to keep moving on with life. Interesting, interesting, awesome. I think somebody is typing. All right, this is exactly why I like interaction. So look, Peace is she does pretty much creatives, and I can say sometimes you have periods of retirement, maybe when you're not doing anything, in quotes, period that you're not actively maybe doing anything around what you do. But that is not retirement, because that time you are not even still doing something active. You are always thinking of making money because you need to survive. Now, okay, let me just quickly read this. Oh, Mrs. Ogunkwade, sorry, Justina, all right. It's a bit difficult to, all right, I think is the name. Thank you. And Mrs. Mary Onyena, retirement as a government worker means stopping government work and facing my own personal business. Again, I like the way she just said, like, I am stopping government work and I'm going to face my personal business. Nice. But I mean, are you not doing anything around your personal business now? Mrs. Onyena, you can speak. Are you doing anything around it or not? Or you're going to wait when you finish government work before you face or do anything? Or is it full versus partial kind of thing? So we're a lot of people here.
Presenter, you asked a question. I want to respond to your.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Actually, I was in my government work before I got retired. Presently, I have retired and
oh, I think we missed that.
I am.
I think you can go on.
Okay, I think it's
Yeah.
so most of the responses cover the concept of retirement. Number one, if you're a government worker or you are in what you call regular employment, retirement is that period when you withdraw from active working life. The key thing is when you withdraw from active working life. And this is usually tied to age in the regular concept. Like, you have been working, and as you grow older, it is expected and it is understood that your ability to give 100% of yourself physically, mentally, and intellectually is reducing. And now, because of what has been planned in areas of like pension, you've been able to put something aside so that you can retire and spend the money you have saved to survive or thrive in your retirement period. Now, there's also what we call semi-retirement. People do semi-retirement by reducing the number of hours they actually spend working actively. But what does this mean for people who are self-employed? And what does this mean for entrepreneurs? So for self-employed people, retirement is a bit, difficult to assess, because self-employed people, as I like to say, have what we call regular periods of retirement, even during the active working age. A contractor, for instance, could spend 1 week, 2 weeks within a month actively pursuing a contract. And then once that contract comes, he implements that contract. I know friends who only works actively 6 months of the year. Once they get a contract, they implement the contract. The next 6 months is spent in what I call yearly retirement. They take an holiday, and then around December, they start planning for. So for self-employed people, it's a different concept. For an entrepreneur, it's similar. Entrepreneurs are always thinking of enterprises that add value. Intellectually, I don't think they ever retire, because we have entrepreneurs like McDonald's. The man who founded McDonald's when he was already 60 something plus. So would you call him retired? He founded a global brand when he was 65, having worked somewhere else as a staff for almost 35 years. So the concept of retirement, as we know it, is more applicable to those in 9-to-5 jobs. For those self-employed and entrepreneurs, it is a line that is often blurred. So let's go to the next one. Financial freedom when retired. What does this mean? Financial freedom means freedom from financial worries to meet our daily needs. Freedom from worrying about where my food is going to come. Freedom from worrying about paying my house rent. Freedom from worrying about health expenses. Freedom from worrying about any other expenses. That's, of course, you can expect a regular and normal person to have. So let's go. So now we talk about global strategies to financial freedom. And I said it. If you have money, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will not have financial worries. Because if you have a certain amount of money at a certain time, and you do not use that money well when you had it, by the time you are retired or semi-retired or fully retired, that money will not be enough. I'll use an example, and this is what we call time value of money in financial management. 5 million naira in 2020 would buy you a Toyota Corolla. It could actually buy you 2 or 3. I remember in 2020 during COVID, Toyota Corollas were being sold for 1.6 million, 1.2 million, 1.8 million. If you had 5 million at that point in time, and you invested and you wanted to go into Bolt or Uber business, it will buy you 3 Toyota Corollas. If you have 5 million naira today, you may just be able to buy 1. Now, you have the money. The 5 million is still 5 million, but inflationary pressures, the devaluation of the naira, has made nonsense of the value of that 5 million. So a global strategy to maximizing the value of what you call the utility of whatever money you have at every point in time is being able to identify the top 3 avenues for you to invest money you have at any point in time. So one of the global strategies is what I call early and consistent saving investing. This works for those of us still working, even those of our people who are nearing retirement. The best time to start saving an investment is actually when you're in the university. The next best time, if you didn't start then, is now. It never stops. It's never a bad idea to save and invest. So it's a global strategy. So if you're going to save and invest, what are the avenues? In Nigeria, for instance, one of what I always recommend for people is treasury bills. Because it is safe, and within the last 2-3 years, the yield has increased dramatically. Some 5 years back, you probably just get 8% per annum. on treasury bills. Now, it ranges between 16% to 20%, whether you are investing for a year, 6 months, or 3 months. So imagine that you have 10 million naira. They're going to give you 1.6 million naira on that, or 2 million. If you keep adding the 2 million back to the 10 million, in 5 years, you're going to have a 100% return on your initial 10 million, which means if you started investing in 2020, by this year, the 10 million would have become 20 million. For those who are risk averse and would like consistent and regular returns with no risk, because the treasury bills is backed by the might of the federal government of Nigeria and the Central Bank of Nigeria, there's really nothing that can happen to your money unless perhaps Nigeria ceases to exist. And we know that, God willing, the country will continue to survive. Now, I like the investing for Ross because of how inflationary pressures have made nonsense of value. The other way is to save your money in Forex. If you are going to save without investing, save in Forex. Open a DOM account, convert the money you don't need into Forex, dollars, pounds. That ensures that your money is tied to global currencies whose devaluation is minimal. In the last 50 years, research shows that the American dollar has changed value as little as plus or minus 3%. Compare that to our own money, which within the last 50 years, I think it has been in the region of thousands of percentage. So just global strategy generally. Now, another global strategy on the saving and investment is to invest in what they call mutual funds. So mutual funds are riskier than treasury bills. They are being managed by global fund managers who invest this money in various investment pathways. When you want to do this, you see options. In Nigeria, for instance, banks like Stanbic IBTC, Standard Chartered Bank, GTB, I think First Bank, they all have specific mutual funds. Now, if you are very proficient in analyzing returns on mutual funds by going through the data, and you'd have a risky appetite, which means you expect higher returns and you're also bold enough to withstand higher, in quote, loss. And you are able to analyze these returns over time. And you have some specific areas of interest. For instance, some people are interested in investing in what we call ethical funds. Funds that do not invest the money in things like tobacco companies, alcohol companies. You would see specific. There are people who also want to invest in funds that invest this money in sustainable enterprises because of the rise of sustainability consciousness globally. You're going to see different funds that matches your areas of interest. So I'll stop with that. And then there's also bonds. So while treasury bills are limited to 12 months investment cycle, bonds are longer-termed federal government investment assets. They could be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Recently, the federal government of Nigeria did what they called a Nigerian dollar-denominated bond, which was supposed to yield like, I think, 10% per annum. So your money you're paying is in dollars. The returns you are getting will be in dollars. But your money will be locked for 2, 5, or 10 years. But you can choose to collect your returns every quarter, which is every 3 months, every year, 12 months, or accumulate everything to the end of the investment when you now get your original investment plus your returns. So another global strategy, diversification of income and assets. This has always been a good way. And I think it's a way of hedging against what we call concentration risk. A good example, if you put all your money, all your investment in a particular mutual fund, if that mutual fund begin to perform poorly, you are going to lose a lot. But if you diversify your income or your resources, we put 20%, for instance, in matching fund, 20% in treasury bills, 20% maybe in assets like land, property, another 20% maybe you invest in what we call what would we call this, venture capital, and maybe another 20% you just put in forex. You have hedged against loss or undesirable events in any of these different asset income generating. So if something undesirable happens to one classes of investment avenue, the other ones, the returns of the other one can help you stabilize. For instance, if you have land would appreciate over time, depending on where you invest. Even if you're not building on it, that is one asset that mostly never reduces in value. That 5 million naira we were talking about to buy, cars, if you put it in a land, 2025, you probably get a good parcel of land even in Abuja or in Osun or in Ibadan. By now, 5 years after, if you invested in a good place, I can tell you without confidence that that piece of land should be worth at least 15 million naira at today. And you didn't do anything. You just bought, maybe clear the land, put some fencing, and make sure that the papers are okay. So this is why we talk about income. Then assets, the different kind of asset. There's farmland, there's regular land, there is properties, that's completed properties. Those are physical assets. And then there are, of course, financial assets, like we said, like all those things I mentioned. For income now, we're talking about something specific that you do, like offering a service or selling a good. In this regard, entrepreneurship comes into play. A lot of us were given gifts by God, but because we're working in 9-to-5 jobs, or because we have a lot of inheritance, we have become complacent. And so someone who has skills in maybe creating artwork, but because he's working in maybe FIRS, did not spend time to develop that skill, which would have become a viable source of alternative income for him. Because imagine you're working in FIRS on Friday or Saturday, you take your easel, you draw whatever you need to draw. In that same organization, there is opportunity for you to showcase this talent and get what I call demand that is meaningful. Because not all demand are meaningful. Demand that is not backed by purchasing power is meaningless to an entrepreneur. So FIRS, your friends, your co-workers, little you show them, oh, this is what they will buy. So a stream of income. For a lot of us in public service, the public service rule states that when we are in service, the only source of income, additional income we can do is agriculture. And when we say agriculture, we change the agricultural value chains. You don't necessarily have to go into production. You can do processing, small scale. You can do agricultural marketing. You can do a whole lot. I know a lot of people who does, this jaji, this spices, get it from the north, have a small meal at home, and bag this into small. You don't need much spice in cooking. And within their community there, they started selling this and they started making money. So the first thing in this then is to identify your interest, your areas of interest and your areas of passion. Because whatever you are able to do that you don't feel that you have to be paid for, I can tell you is your best thing that you should do to make money. Because if you do it because of the passion you have for it, you will never get tired of doing it. It is then next for you to now define a strategy to identify the people and the market that would buy what you are selling. Another strategy is to maintain passive and residual income. This, of course, links to the things I have said. When I say passive, which means income that you do not have to do anything active for you to get it. Stock is one of them. Once you invest in a stock, in the stock market, the stock that you've invested in, every year when they do their annual returns, money comes to you. You don't have to do anything. The company that you invested in do all the work, you get your return because you are a shareholder. The same thing, you have the land. You've bought this land, you're not using it. You can lease it to someone who wants to use it for a purpose. Now, this is important, that do not require them to build permanent structure on your land. And if you are going to do this, ensure that you have a strongly worded agreement that specifies entry point and exit point, specifies what happens if the person does this, and make everything legal and quantifiable. If you have a piece of land and you give it to someone for agriculture, you can get your least income on this. You can give it to people for what do you call it? To use as for events. As long as they don't put permanent structure on it, you get what you call your passive and residual income. So treasury bills also comes there. You invest it, just tell them to roll it over after every expiration, and your passive and residual income comes into your account every periodically. Now, another strategy is for you to improve yourself, your financial literacy, your personal financial literacy, and utilize advisory services. You see, financial literacy and should I say academic literacy are worlds apart. Many of those market women that you see that do not have a degree from a university understand finance better than even some professors who have academic PhDs. The concept of financial literacy pretty much says you understand how money should be invested, should be saved, and should be used to attract more money. You understand financial requests that you should not entertain. You understand fraudulent financial overtures that you should not even consider. We complain a lot that there are a lot of fraudulent schemes out there. But if you're financially literate, there are some things that comes to your WhatsApp or you are told that because of your high financial literacy, you know automatically that this can never be real. In an economy where the banks are giving you 8% on your savings, the federal government is giving you 16% to 20% on your treasury bills. Mutual funds gives you maybe 25% per annum. Someone now comes to you to tell you that if you invest 50,000, you're going to get another 50,000, which is 100% every month. If you invest in something like that, then you yourself, you're either a financial illiterate or you're a greedy and fraudulent person. Because if you understand the way money works, you know that that is not possible. Now, the other part is to utilize advisory services. Many banks on their website will offer you free advice. They advertise treasury bills, they advertise bonds. For instance, pension. The pension fund administrators have been asking people with pensions to come and take 25% of their savings to use as deposits for mortgage. If you do not open your mind and your eyes to all these opportunities, because money that you get today is worth more than money that you will get tomorrow. And I think there's an interesting adage to that, that a bird in hand is not worth two in the bush, it is worth 100 in the bush. 25% that you get today, when invested properly, can give you that same amount in the next 5 years if maybe you are retiring by then. So utilize advisory services, but also be sure and identify advisory services that are genuine and okay. Banks are a good one. Pension fund administrators are another good one. And attending, webinars like this, set up by people that you know are reputable and have spent, years and years working in the public service is also another. Then the other one is conscious pension planning. Most times, we used to have this, defined pension. Now it's a contributory pension where your organization pays an amount, you also pay an amount. But you can choose to actually pay more. So if you think that all those other, investment strategies is something you don't like, you can consciously increase your own contribution to your pension, which means there is more money that you're saving for for by the time you are semi or fully retired. So a lot of this happens abroad. I hardly see anybody in Nigeria who says, oh, I'm going to increase the amount of pension they are taking from my own money. We just let it stand like that, and nobody say that. Then longevity and healthcare planning. When we become older, one of the greatest sources of expenses is health. And like I think it was Baba Obasanjo who usually said this. He said by the time you are 40, more often than not, you know the health challenge that you are going to battle with in your old age. And I see that like by the time people are 40, most people will know whether they have IBP, others diabetes, some people atherosclerosis, some people, a lot of things. But I mean, being diagnosed with an health challenge is not a death sentence. Baba Obasanjo told me he's been battling diabetes since he was 35, and I think he's over 90 now. If you go and spend some time with him, his food, if whatever he drinks, is extremely regulated. It eats a lot of unripe plantain. And so at 95, I saw him reach the jumping onto a stage, and I marvel. So when you have identified an healthcare challenge, it is something that should feature in your planning for financial freedom, because it means the way you eat, what you eat, and the expenses that you must prepare for medical must be part of your financial freedom planning, so that you know that you have to allocate a higher chunk to this. Not necessarily even to the hospital, but basically even around the food. If, for instance, a diabetes person must be very conscious about the things he eats. And diabetic friendly food are extremely expensive and difficult to get. So it's part of the global strategies for financial freedom. It is your financial freedom. If you are not alive, the whole planning is gone. So may God allow us to be alive long enough to enjoy the fruit of our labors. Now, strategies for Nigerians, and this is now specific to us, and this comprises of formal and informal strategies, because of course we are a highly community, oriented, society. Now, I've spoken about this contributory pension scheme, how you can increase it if you feel like you want to use it as an avenue to get your financial freedom. Diversification beyond pensions. I spoke about this for us in Nigeria. You see, it's easier to be a millionaire or billionaire in Nigeria than probably anywhere else, simply because you have the market. Regulation in Nigeria is relatively loose. And if you get a moderately good product, your community, your workplace, your friends, your family would patronize you. So diversification for me means thinking through what you can do consistently and repeatedly without getting tired, and then making sure this becomes a source of value. When Peace and I started speaking, and I saw some of the things she's been doing. So sometimes there is something that you're passionate about that you feel like you should be doing. You feel like this is your what the Japanese would call your ikigai, your purpose in life, the reason for existence. If you've been lucky enough to find that, I congratulate you. Now, this purpose will require resources, not only money, but money can solve most of the requirement. And then you're pursuing this purpose, but it is not giving you the returns financially that you require. Then you have to sit back and look at the market. What does this market want? There's an adage in Yoruba that says that the soup that the husband does not eat. Who can complete that one? The soup that the husband does not eat.
The wife must not cook it.
Exactly. If the market, your target market, does not maybe understand or appreciate what you see as your product and you are offering through products or services, then you have to repackage your offering to meet the expectations of the market. Because it is the market that gives you the returns that leads you to financial freedom. So she was doing some things, and I understand, what I'm saying. So at this point in time, sometimes you have to do maybe a 9 to 5 job for you to get the finances so that you can also chase the purpose that you're interested in. So when you're diversifying, you must think about your areas of interest and also think about whether your areas of interest matches with needs in the market. I'll give an instance, which is very practical. I think a lot of people here will remember when GSM started in Nigeria. I think it was around 99. And I think the first GSM company to come was, I think they called themselves Econet then. Please, people, you can please just confirm if you remember this. And after Econet came MTN. Econet has since changed its name severally. They've been Airtel, they've been V-Mobile, Abi. And when these two started, it was always per minute billing. I remember then, if you're calling, you would be looking at, nobody puts the phone by the hair. We hold the phone, and then once it's 59 seconds, we cut the call, whether you finished the conversation or not, because nobody wanted to be charged for the extra minute, which even if you spend 1 minute 1 second, they will charge you 2 minutes. And there were a lot of complaints that, why couldn't these people allow per second billing? And MTN said, it was not possible, and Econet echoed the same thing. And then entered our own homegrown GSM, which is Globalcom. And within 6 months of coming into the space, Globalcom introduced per second billing. That singular act was what propelled Globacom. In fact, the number of people that bought Globacom SIM that time was unprecedented. What did MTN and Econet that were telling us it was not possible did? They immediately recasted their system for per second billing. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that when you are entering a market as part of your diversification strategy, anything you want to do, you must study the market. What is the pain point of people? What is being offered by the current people in that industry that people are complaining about? It might just be, you don't even need to do any special research. By observing, by listening to people when you are inside commercial vehicles, on the news, in conversations with family members and friends, people are always expressing frustration and pain about a service or the other. If any of those services or products matches your areas of interest, I can tell you, you are finding a place where you can diversify and make money. There's so many examples. The same thing with milk, powdered milk. Pig milk used to always do things, and then they went into big sachet. But cowbell came and they started doing small sachet of milk. And they took milk from an elite product to a product for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And now it's common. The bricklayer, the plumber, everybody, the Okada man can buy milk because it has been made available. When the cowbell did that, pig milk followed. Pig milk used to say that milk was not for everybody. So it's the same product. Same product. All cowbell did was to make the product more accessible to a wider and broader market base. People living at the base of the pyramid, that's what they usually refer to them. The same thing happened with microfinance. Microfinance, finance for micro people, people at the bottom of the pyramid. There is money always at the bottom of the pyramid, but because it's small money spent by individuals, but when you aggregate it over thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions, you get entrepreneurship and side business. I think I've even spoken about it. Entrepreneurship focus mainly on making money from value addition. Making money from, not all businesses are entrepreneurial, but all entrepreneurial ventures are businesses. Not all businesses are entrepreneurs. Some businesses are there, they're just doing what they call rent seeking. But a true entrepreneurial business is taking value, and from creating value, they are making money. These are some examples I gave you. They created value by changing billing from per minute to per second. Cowbells started making milk in affordable sachet sizes for people. Microfinance started looking at providing finances for people at the bottom of the pyramid. And all around us, you see examples. Uber, Bolt, what did they do? They started giving us access to both. They don't even have cars. They don't have cars, but they created a platform for anybody with a car and with time to join and provide transportation services, at least in a relatively convenient and safe way than what we already know globally. So that is what entrepreneurship is about. Value creation. Seek the kingdom of value, and financial freedom and every other thing shall be added. Now, family and community-based support. I mean, this happens a lot. I really do not, really say this as, but then when you talk about financial freedom, especially when it comes to issues of unexpected events, and this is not something that one must see as a regular source of financial freedom. Like you always expect your family or your community to sort you out. But when you are especially going into a venture or an entrepreneurial undertaking, reaching out to family and community to at least get the initial startup capital is a good way to commence and then stabilize because more often than not, they're not going to charge you an interest. And if they believe in what you're doing, they might be your first source of market, that is buyers for the product you have created. Then cooperatives and informal savings. Cooperatives are, we define them as value-based organizations that provide, financial and non-financial, value to their members. We have what we call institution-based cooperatives and non-institution. So, for instance, you might have Ministry of Power cooperative, NUT cooperatives, and then you have some cooperatives that are just for everyone. But most cooperatives usually have something like a commonality. So, we are all living in the same community. We have a cooperative. Oh, we are all from Ijesha. We have a cooperative. Oh, we are members of this church or this mosque. We have a cooperative. So there's always something that is common or unites cooperative members, which so cooperatives usually gives loans to their members at a very cheap rate. They are also a good source of emergency funding. They are also a viable platform for marketing your entrepreneurial, services and businesses. So we should not only see cooperative as places where we can get money. We can see it as a place where, when well organized, you can get access to funding cheaply, access to advisory services when the cooperatives have such, then a platform to market your product, and a platform for getting feedback on what you are selling. Informal savings. So you have this, thing called ajo in Yoruba, which is people coming together outside the cooperative to contribute money in such a way that every period one person takes the money. So this is a good approach to mobilize funds without having to go to a bank and having to pay interest. However, I usually issue a caveat here. You must be sure that the members of this informal savings, what sometimes we call ROSCA, which is rotating savings collection associations, because you rotate the contribution. Please be sure that you know everybody in that informal savings group. You know them, and now banks are coming up with products for this sort of informal saving groups, and then bundling what we call insurance, so that if one person is not able to contribute at the party specific time, the insurance will kick in and ensure that at least people get their money back and nobody loses. Now, micro pension and micro insurance, and this for people who work in regular jobs, pensions are always mandatory. So, but for people in self-employment like artisans, micro pension is a very good way to enhance their financial freedom. Simply because you pay a small amount of money every day or every week, and then by the time they become too old or perhaps temporarily incapacitated to do the work, they are able to draw some money to take care of immediate needs and family needs. Micro insurance, people in Nigeria actually don't like doing insurance because they say the insurance companies don't like to pay. But I can tell you that things have improved tremendously. Insure your car. If you can't insure your house, anything that you have that is precious to you that you use to generate fund, please insure it. And when you're insuring, please be sure that the insurance company is accredited. Go to the website of NICOM. NICOM is the regulatory body for insurance, Nigerian National Insurance Commission of Nigeria. If you go to their website, you see all the accredited insurance companies. When somebody is giving you an insurance, you will also see that your policy number. You can go to their website, that's NICOM. There is a portal there where you can confirm whether an insurance number policy that you have paid for or is valid. So please utilize this verification system so that you will not run foul of this fraudulent. Of course, there are fraudulent insurance companies all over the place, but by being careful and being financially literate, knowing where to go to check, you will not run foul of these people. So micro pension, micro insurance, and in fact, recently there's a massive rollout by the Pension Commission on micro pension. So the Pension Commission regulates pension in the country. NICOM regulates, insurance. Another thing that we all should know in financial freedom is, what should I do in the off chance that I have I'm a victim of a fraudulent financial transaction. This is, so each of these regulators, central bank has one, Penscom has, NICOM has, and there is what we call the Federal Consumer Protection Council, Federal Consumer, FCPC. Please, whether it is you buy a product that you now found out is fake or anything financial, please go to their website and lodge a complaint. It is electronic, and these people actually work about this. So knowing where to get redress in the off chance of fraudulent, being a victim of fraud, is another aspect of. I hope you can hear me. I'm getting a sign of financial. Okay, it's another aspect of financial literacy. So NICOM for insurance, PENCOM for pension, central bank, they have a consumer protection department for central bank, and then SEC for anything that has to do with the stock exchange. Each of them has like a whistleblower or a redress mechanism that you can send an email to. More often than not, you must always contact the organization that has done the fraud by making sure that you send them an email, and then after 2 weeks, if you've not been solved, you would reach out to these regulatory bodies. Then I said insurance and health planning. Well, medical insurance has become a big thing in the country now. If your organization does not offer you post-retirement medicals, please, a big part of insurance of financial freedom after retirement is taking care of your health. You should take medical insurance with a viable and trustworthy medical insurance company. It is very, very important. I think we are almost rounding up. So I think this is the last slide. So these are final tips and takeaways. Start retirement planning early. Like I said, the day one gets a job, once you start planning for retirement, think diversification, think savings, think investment, think investing in land, think investing in yourself, skills. The more diversified your skills are, the more adaptive you are in a world that is changing so fast. If you are, you have, these skills I'm saying, it even has to do with artisanal skills. The fact that one is a deputy director, a director, does not mean you cannot learn how to sew. You can learn how to make hair. You can learn how to do like what mommy is doing now. It is by doing all I experienced from working in the public service. She's now putting it to, changing mindsets and doing something that. And there's also another good part of being active when you are retired, so to say. It keeps, because the human body and mind is designed to be active. Being complacent, sitting in bed all day is not the way we are created. So when the brain is active, it even prevents what you call dementia, because dementia comes from degeneration of brain cells. So by being active physically and mentally and intellectually, you're not only ensuring that you're financially free, you're also making sure that you're healthier and you're able to survive in a changing world. Like I said, early birds eat fast, the fattest ones. The people who start early preparing for retirement see opportunities faster, because as you're driving, you see, this place, they're about to make a road here. I think it's better I buy a piece of land here. By the time they make the road, the property would appreciate. So those are the kind of thinking. So you have to be observant. You have to be thinking. You have to always be ready to make decisions that would enhance your financial freedom. Focus on your areas of interest. Passion pulls you through difficult times. Yes. If this will tell you all the all the things that had to happen in pursuit of passion, you say, how have you been able? But if you are passionate about something and you believe that this is your purpose and your ikigai in life, difficult times are only lessons. They are only learning curves for you. They are only going to make you stronger because you are convinced that this is where you should be doing. So you should focus on the areas where you have a natural interest, or what I also call natural proclivity. Some people are naturally good at speaking. They don't feel shy. So why not start looking at becoming a public speaker or an MC? Some people pay attention to details. Some people are good at writing. Online now, the internet, you have people somewhere in the Western world who are looking for what they call copywriters. And they pay you in dollars to copyright. You just copyright and look at and then just come up with adverts, bylines, and all that. Some people are good with their hands. So learn how to use your hand. Some people automatically will see a machine and they understand how it works. And they've never had a mechanical background, but they can just see it's a gift. Some people like animals. If you are comfortable with animals, then invest in poultry. Learn how to raise birds. That would always sell. You can have 20 noilas. If you have 20 noilas, noila is a kind of bird that was developed by Nigeria. It's a cross between those exotic and our local chicken. They are strong and big. If you have 50 noilas in the house, you will be selling eggs for everybody in your community because they would, once they start laying, they will give, each of them will give you like 80 eggs in a year. So multiply 80 eggs by 50. That's 4,000 eggs. So you have to, if you're comfortable with animals, that's something you can even do at your backyard. And then there is also all this backyard farming that we're doing now. When you get all those special medicinal herbs, instead of saying you want to plant cassava, the backyard, you can even plant all these scent leaves that are expensive per kilogram than even a kilogram of cassava. So it is by research that you know. Yesterday I was talking to one of my friends who is into logistics and all that, was telling me that I wanted to buy moringa powder. And so I asked my wife to look at it, and then we sent 1 kilogram to, and they liked it. And then we went online to check how much a kilogram of moringa leaf is being sold on eBay and Amazon. And it was $45 for a kilogram. $45 is how much? I think that's around 60K per kilogram of moringa leaf powder. So imagine if you have 1 hectare of moringa farm and you're harvesting the leaves periodically and you're able to do 20 kg per month. That's 20 kg times $45. That should be like $900. $900 is like $900 is how much? Like 1.5 million? No, it's more than that. So simple. And it's a land that you bought maybe a long time ago that you're not even using for anything. Just plant your moringa on it. So it is the ability to pull all these things together, to understand where the market is, where the production is, that actually makes us financially free. The ability to see and connect. Someone says creativity is the ability to connect the seemingly unconnected. Well, for me, entrepreneurship is the ability to make money from that connection. Now, build capacity in areas of investment interest. So find your areas, like we said, and deliberately build capacity. You are interested in mutual funds. Read about mutual funds, learn about it, go for webinars about it, become a master of mutual funds. Or you are interested in agribusiness, understand it, know how it works. Do not always rely on what other people say. Research. On YouTube, you can do virtually anything and learn on YouTube. The other day, I think it was my dad, you said you wanted to learn about maggot farming. Yeah, I said, go on YouTube. You would see. There's always somebody offering, posting on anything now in the world. So the limitations that we had when we were growing up are no longer there. But you have the will. You have the passion. You have the consistency to last the course so that you can become an expert. Not only for you to implement, but also for you to train others. Then network, network, network. Your network is your net worth. The people you know determines also your financial freedom. You know this person, a call can get you a piece of information that can land you a contract. You know somebody there, just understanding, clarifying something that was put out can take you to the next level. And on this note, I'd like to say thank you for listening and God bless you all.
Wow, 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 wow. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we appreciate our speaker today? How do we say thank you? How do we celebrate? Thank you so much, sir. Sure, I said it. Sure, I said it. Even me, I was taking down notes. Please, are we still here? We unmute and we say thank you. Oh, we're almost done.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Yes, we unmute and we say thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Everyone for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so that we can quickly release us. Is there anyone that has any question, any personal question that you want to present for him to speak to? Have questions about what he has taught? If you have personal, financial, something you're confused about, and you just want him to speak to it. Anyone?
Who is there? Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, my name is Ruth.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, my name is Ruth Aibeshola. I want to say a big thank you to the speaker, although I joined very late and I actually forgot. But the little that I met, I'm actually blessed, especially with the last statement, your network is your net worth. That's still emphasizing importance of relationship, even in also becoming what God wants us to become. So I just want to add that the after that I met, I discovered that he was talking also much about insurance, and I happen to be an insurance personnel. I actually work with First Bank Insurance, formerly known as First Bank Insurance, that's Salam Alliance Insurance Company. So I just want to add my voice that yes, compared to before, insurance works now. And in case you, just like the speaker encourages that when you have anything that is valuable to you, don't hesitate to insure. There are so many good insurance out there that when there's a claim, they pay promptly even within 48 hours after documentation. So in case you want to insure anything that of your car, maybe you want to be saving, you also have the part that needs that you want to be saving money. Probably you are not in a pensionable job and you just want to be saving money towards your retirement. You can pick up a 5 year plan that can also bring return on investment for you. You'll be saving on monthly basis, and at the end of 5 years, you collect your money with return on investment. So we have so many plans. So in case you need any insurance thing or even annuity for those that are about to retire, for us to educate you more on the advantage of that annuity over the program withdrawal, I'm also available to do that. So that's just what I want to contribute. Thank you. And I'm happy to be part of this team. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma. Are you on the group?
Yes, man. Yes, I joined on Wednesday when I pay.
Because you said you forgot, but we came to
yes,
call.
I forgot.
We came to call out. We were shouting. We were screaming. And everyone should come out to.
Taking me off this morning.
No problem. Thank you so much for your contribution. Does anyone else have any question before we release our speaker?
Yes, mine is not a question. It's just a request. that
Okay.
if they can remember to share reading resources along with the slides when it's being shared, we'll really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, ma, that will be done. We'll be sharing that. So I need to confirm that everyone here is on the group, is on the Experience to Enterprise group. If you're here and you're not on the group, can I see your hand? Or can you please signify so that you can be added? All right then. So it means that all of us are on the group. So all of the resources will be shared with everybody on the group. Another thing I want to say is if you are here and you've heard a lot of things today, right? There's a lot that you've heard. You probably have taken down notes, but you know that you need somebody to actually hold your hand on this journey, because I mentioned knowing what to do, but not having an empowerment to do it. Sometimes it takes like a personal one-on-one coach to be able to say, okay, let us break down all of everything that is on the table. Let us break down your experience. Let us break down your circumstances right now. Let us break down your resources, and then now see how to package things and then put timeline to it. Because if you don't, you will become distracted. It's easy to become distracted. There's always a lot going on, and there will never be a time that you will not have something that will take your attention. So if you know that you need that kind of personal one-on-one follow-up and one-on-one direction, this is one of the services that Dr. Mrs. Foluke, we call her Coach Foluke in this tribe. That's one of the services that she offers. And she also knows people that if it is beyond her, she can refer you. Like two of the speakers that have spoken to us today, Reverend Simon Asemota, he's a public speaker. I know he's a marriage counselor. I know that he's a pastor. I know that he's also into community service. I know that he runs businesses, enterprise and all of that. So if it is something that is beyond Coach Foluke, she will refer you to him, right? I know that Mr. Abiodun works with the banking system. I know that he has he's an entrepreneur. He has businesses. I know he's into poultry farming. I know he's into a lot of other things that he has obviously also spoken about here. And from the last person that spoke to, she's into investment. So there are a lot of resources. There are a lot of people. Your network is your net worth. But if you don't even call out and reach out for help, you cannot get this help. So if you know that you need help, specific help, then please on the group you can signify. Emmanuel is here. Emmanuel is the assistant, the virtual assistant for Coach Foluke, and he's the one that will be taking, all of your requests. If this is something that you need a personal one-on-one, then please reach out to him and he can book a clarity call for you and we can take it from there. Coach Foluke, I don't know if you have something to say before we round up.
Thank you very much. I want to especially just as a final note refer to what Mr. Abi, call himself Abiodun. He was, just like he mentioned, 5 of us went to Australia together. He was the only man. So all of us, we just attached ourselves to him. He had an experience of what it means for a man to have four wives. So, well, we know we became very close and he was really, really good. Calling all of us mommy, all the mommies attached to him. He was a very young man. So he said something that I really think is a remarkable thing. He said, when you are creative, that you are able to connect the unconnected, that creativity is connecting the unconnected. And having financial freedom is to make money from that connection. That word is what I think we can actually go home with and make sure that we look through what we have been taught today. I am very, very passionate about other people making money, or getting busy and busy doing what you love to do and then making impact. Money will not be the first thing, but when it starts coming, you will be surprised. Because you'll be doing those things naturally. I've seen a lot of people retiring and they didn't have anything to do. They wish they had things to do. So it is one of the things that is a driving force for me. And I want to wish every one of us, a very best of luck. I wish you all the best, that you will please stand up to something. Please stand up to something. that is what will make us know that, yes, you have really benefited something from this webinar. So on that note, we want to say thank you to every single one of you that participated, and we appreciate you. And we are hoping to hear good news from you. And as we normally say, we see you at the top. God bless you.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We've done 2 hours together. It's even almost 3 hours, and everyone has been attentive. Everyone has been, wonderful. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. God bless you. God keep you. In Jesus' name. Take care. Bye-bye, sirs. Bye-bye, mas.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.